This is Jared Gaming here, and right now I'm gonna be rebuilding the Washington Redskins. For my first trade, I traded a third round pick, Vernon Davis, Kirk Cousins, for Jalen Ramsey. So I get the Giants' first round pick for Robert Kelly, Ty Nsekhe, and Martell Spate. So I get the Jets' first round pick this year and next year for Alice Paul, Stacy McGee, and my fourth round pick. So I trade Mason Foster, Trent Murphy, and my second round pick for Darius Slay Jr. So I trade Josh Norman, No Achilles Gillette, and a third round pick for Bobby Wagner. So I trade Bashad Breeland and Will Compton for Malcolm Jenkins. I get the Bears' first round pick for Terrell McClain, Sua Cravens, and my fifth round pick. At the midseason mark, we are 2-5, and we have some people to re-sign. So we get Matthew Ioannidis back, and we get Zach Brown back, and I don't really want any of these players, so I'm not gonna offer them anything. At the end of the season, we went 4-11-1. So Colt McCoy threw for 3,800 yards, 30 TDs, and 18 interceptions. Chris Thompson ran for 1,000 yards and 7 TDs. Terrell Pryor got 1,000 yards and 3 TDs, and Jordan Reed got 900 yards and 10 TDs. We let up a couple of sacks, just 24. Bobby Wagner led the team in tackles with 147. Matthew Ioannidis had 7 tackles for a loss. Jonathan Allen gets 14 QB sacks, and Ryan Kerrigan gets 11.5. Bobby Wagner gets 8 interceptions. Darius Slay with 3. And Bobby Wagner gets a defensive touchdown. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP. Doug Peterson wins Coach of the Year. Jonathan Allen's number 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Bobby Wagner wins Best Linebacker. And that's it for awards. So the only people I get in free agency are Theo Riddick and John Sullivan. So I trade my 7th overall pick and Fabian Moreau for the 1st overall pick from the Arizona Cardinals. So with the 1st overall pick, I traded it with the Browns for their number 1 overall, number 11 overall, and their next year 1st round pick. So I'm gonna trade my 3rd overall pick with the Minnesota Vikings for their 1st round and 2nd round pick this year, and their 1st round pick next year. With my 4th overall pick, I'm gonna choose this QB, Deshaun Sneed, from LSU, and he has quick development. With my 5th overall pick, I'm gonna choose Gilbert Marriott from Stanford, and he's a slow linebacker, so that wasn't a good pick. And with my 6th overall pick, I'm gonna choose Asfa Amos, a wide receiver from Clemson, and he's okay. I'm gonna trade my 11th overall pick for the Cincinnati Bengals 2nd round pick next year, and their 3rd round pick this year. With the 21st overall pick, I'm gonna choose the center CJ McCord from Ole Miss, and he's pretty good. With my second round pick, I chose this guard, and he's okay. With his third round pick, I'm gonna choose this middle linebacker, and he has quick development. And now I'm just gonna sim the rest of the draft. So I trade my rookie guard, Zach Brown, and my second round pick for Odell Beckham Jr. I traded John Sullivan, my rookie middle linebacker, and the second round pick for Jamal Adams. So I traded Ryan Anderson, a second round pick next year and a fourth round pick this year, for a Bills rookie defensive tackle. So this is a team heading to next season. Still have Trent Williams, a really good left tackle. We have a pretty good O-line. Jordan Reed is a really great tight end. Our receivers are pretty good with Odell Beckham in the mix. And we have our rookie quarterback. Our linebacker core isn't bad. Our D-line isn't bad. But our secondary is pretty good with Malcolm Jenkins, Jamal Adams, Darius Slay, and Jalen Ramsey. So at the midseason mark, we are 7-0. And we have to re-sign some pretty good players. So Odell Beckham, he has been re-signed. Brandon Sheriff, he is coming back. Preston Smith, he is coming back as well. And Jamison Crowder is the last guy I want. And he is also coming back. At the end of the season, we went 13-3. Our rookie quarterback threw for 4,000 yards, 33 TDs, and 13 interceptions. Theo Riddick ran for 1,000 yards. Samaje Perine got 12 touchdowns. Jordan Reed got 1,092 yards and 10 touchdowns. Odell Beckham with 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. And luckily, he didn't break his leg this year. And our rookie receiver with 900 yards. And our team only let up 11 sacks. Bobby Wagner led the team with 133 tackles. Jonathan Allen with 11 tackles for loss. And Allen led the team with 11.5 sacks. Jalen Ramsey gets 7 interceptions, Darius Slay 5. And Big Play Slay with 2 defensive touchdowns, and Jalen Ramsey with 1. Aaron Rodgers wins MVP, like always, and we win Coach of the Year. Bobby Wagner, he won Defensive Player of the Year. Deshaun Sneed won Rookie of the Year. Trent Williams wins the Best Offensive Lineman Award. Jalen Ramsey wins Best Defensive Back Award. So Bobby Wagner won Defensive Player of the Year, but he doesn't win Best Linebacker. So yeah. Jalen Ramsey becomes a 98 overall. Deshaun Sneed becomes a 91 overall. Jamal Adams becomes an 88 overall. So for the first game, we're going to be playing the Arizona Cardinals. And we beat them. And now we're going to be playing the 13-3 Packers. And we lost. So now it's time to rebound and try to win next year. So we get Tevin Coleman in the first week of free agency. With my 6th overall pick, I'm going to choose this cornerback, and he has slow development, which I don't care about because he's going to play in the slot. He's our third cornerback, so it doesn't really matter. So I trade my 30th overall pick, Kyle Fuller, and a 6th round pick for the Bills' 10th overall pick. And with that 10th overall pick, I'm going to choose a wide receiver named Thomas Wallace with superstar development. And now I'm just going to be trading the rest of my picks away. So I trade Jamison Crowder, a 1st and 3rd round pick, for Reuben Foster. So I get Zach Martin for Preston Smith and DJ Swearinger. So I trade 2 1st round picks and one of my right guards for JJ Watt. So here's the team heading into next season. We have Zach Martin, one of the best linemen in the game. Our O-line's really good. Our second year quarterback is now 91 overall. We have Tevin Coleman on the team. Our receivers downgraded a bit in the slot position, but he has superstar development, so it's fine. Our linebacker core has improved with Reuben Foster. And now we have JJ Watt on the D-line. And our secondary is still one of the best, with 98 Jalen Ramsey leading the way. So it's time to head to the playoffs. So we made it to 13-3. Our quarterback threw for 4,000 yards, 42 TDs. Tevin Coleman ran for 1,300 yards. Jordan Reed got 1,000 yards, so they're our rookie wide receiver. And Odell Beckham got 1,200 yards. And we only let up a couple of sacks. Bobby Wagner led the team with tackles. JJ Watt had 22 tackles for loss. And Jonathan Allen had 10 sacks, with our rookie cornerback with 5 interceptions. And awards don't matter. So we beat the Cowgirls and forgot to upgrade. Whoa. And we beat the Vikings. And we make it to the Super Bowl against the Chargers. Somehow they make it. Oh, it's because I have injuries off, so that probably explains it. Washington, D.C., home to U.S. Capitol and Super Bowl champions. Yep. That's how you build a contender. Yeah, in this rebuild, Odell Beckham won't get hurt. And we know how to draft QBs here. And then you got JJ Watt to a team that could win a playoff game. So yeah.